welcome back to our channel. This is Brian, my husband. I invited him today to join me in discussion about the flight restriction to the Philippines based on our experience about booking.
Yeah, okay. Our experience with making a booking for flights to leave Australia. First of all, if you're going to be doing this, go to a psychiatrist and have your head read, because
Yeah.
it's absolutely mind-blowing,
That's why I don't
the amount of drama you got to go through.
That's why I don't include him with discussion like this, but I definitely need his help today.
So
But
anyway, okay, you've gone to a psychiatrist, you've had your head read, and he says, yes, you're partly sane, so you can go through all the rigmarole that you got to go through to do this. Okay, so the first drama that you're going to experience is you need to get our government's permission to leave the country.
That's travel exemption.
Travel
You need
exemption.
to apply travel exemption through online, which I already had discussed this before. But this is, of course, one of the protocols is you have to
Department
have
of Home Affairs.
Yes,
So go to the Department of Home Affairs link on their website, and it will give you all the information you need and the requirements.
Yes,
you have to have a good excuse. You really can't just be going over there because you just want to go somewhere, you want to go travelling, You have to have a very good reason for travelling.
Yeah, that's why they say do not travel, only if it's very, very important that you have to.
Yeah, they're making sure that you got a good reason to go over there.
We made the first booking in March for a flight to the Philippines for this month, May, and then when we had that booking about 2 weeks before our flight, which is supposed to be tomorrow, May the 3rd, we have an email that our flight had been cancelled, and so you'd look at a flight, because our flight was Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, Cebu.
Yes,
and
Cebu.
Cathay Pacific all of a sudden decided that they're not flying direct to Cebu. So I went to Skyscanner and checked flights after I got the news from Cathay Pacific that leg of the journey was cancelled. They don't cancel the whole flight from Cairns to Cebu. They just send you an email saying they've cancelled the leg of the flight.
Yes, that's why this is the discussion about yes, the travel ban had been lifted in the Philippines for balikbayan visa program, also for spouse or former Filipino. This is the problem, is that getting to the Philippines without having a battle with trying to get a booking, anyway, so we will go back again. So 2 weeks before our flight, it got cancelled. So Brian went and looked at Skyscanner.
They're just flight apps you get on your phone, and you can look up flights quickly. You can it will show you all the flights, the various flights. You can search the day before, the week before. You can sort of search around when you want to go, and quickly and easily. So I just quickly got onto Skyscanner and I searched, because I thought, okay, they've cancelled the flight from Hong Kong to Cebu. All right.
On the 3rd of May.
So 3rd of May, it's our first one we've done. And it's a no-brainer. Of course, they've just cancelled that flight. So the rest of the flight, they've said, is continuing. So you go, okay, Cebu's not the only place I can fly into in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Manila, you've got Clark Airport. What I want to say is I just saw that they were flying from Hong Kong, Cathay Pacific, to Manila. And it's going to be a pain in the ass for us because we've already booked hotel quarantine in Cebu, so that's already pre-booked. and now we're going to have to book another 6 nights in Manila.
Yeah.
They actually say 7 days.
7 days.
Some say 6 nights and others say 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
You know, you will get contradicting things on all of this. We rebooked to Manila, okay, and we're thinking we're not going to book the hotel quarantine until we're actually sitting in the airport ready to jump on the plane, and then we'll book the hotel quarantine then, because there's hundreds of hotel quarantines. You're not going to have a problem finding a hotel for your quarantine. That's not a problem.
So we did. You contacted our travel agent?
Yeah, and to change the flight to Manila. So
we were waiting for confirmation from them to actually approve our flight change, because of course they cancelled the first one. So we requested, could we fly to Manila? And while we're waiting for that confirmation, a week or 7 days, this is 7 days, 10 days before our flight, we received an email from Cathay Pacific that our flight's been cancelled. And at the same time, our travel agent had said that our flight had been confirmed, which is they didn't know. We know first that our flight had been cancelled. So on April 29, we went and see the flight center and made a new booking.
I'll just explain a little bit about that, okay?
Yep.
Because what we need to talk about is booking online, doing it yourself, okay? Our first booking was done that way. I done that through Skyscanner, and then they give you another agent and you can choose TripAdvisor, all these different agents. They've got a different price, okay, and they've got different star rating and reviews, and I chose Bravo Fly, and the base to that is in England. So whenever I had to ring them, I had to ring them late at night so that I would catch them during their daytime hours, because they weren't answering the phone during our daytime. So it's much easier if you book through Flight Centre or an agent.
Local agent.
A local agent.
Go there.
You can walk into their business office and you face to face with the person. You have any problems, if flights are cancelled, they send you an email, but you can go in there and you can have a talk with them and say, you know, this is another flight I would like to book, rebook. So much more easier doing that with a local
travel agent.
Do not book online. It's a nightmare.
It's harder. It's very hard.
You know, the Flight Centre only charge what, $47
it's quite
per ticket per person. So it was $150 for the 3 of us, and in that you also get a luggage insurance. So your luggage, if your luggage gets lost, it's up to $1,000 you get back per bag. So I'm packing a bag with nothing in it, and I'm going to lose it, and I'm going to get $1,000.
Anyway, you're crazy, you are. Anyway, so we went there on April 29 and booked a ticket for June, and the next day, April 30, the Philippines had announced that they had been lifted the travel ban for Balikbayan visa program.
That's how we're travelling over there.
Yes.
We're not getting a visa and then travelling there, because
we are under the Balikbayan visa.
Balikbayan is
program.
For former Filipino, because Leah's former Filipino.
Yes, and we're married. So
we're married.
Brian's entitled for a Balikbayan
12-month visa. As soon as you land, stamped in your passport.
So we are now thinking we should have waited just another day before we went and see the flight center. By then we already had known that the travel ban had been lifted, and we could have been looking at flight this month, May. Anyway, so even if we would have booked ticket this month, May, the chances would that be maybe 50-50. That is because there's a lot of people already had booked flight before that they want to travel this May, and of course the flight restriction is only allowing daily arrival of 1,500.
Yeah, the The only thing that's been lifted is the Balikbayan ban. They haven't lifted the flight restrictions, which is 1,500 people landing in the Philippines, which includes Cebu, which includes Clark,
anywhere.
which includes Manila. So that's not a lot of flights. So we had our flights cancelled, and a lot of people are having their flights cancelled. So a better system would be if that you weren't allowed to book. Only a certain amount of flights can be booked. And the airline companies who are on board with that shouldn't let people book, so sorry, we can't let you book, it's already fully booked. We don't know how the Philippines work out which flights get cancelled, which ones are allowed. Do they draw them out of a hat? Do they put all the flights in a hat and then pull them out and go, who are we cancelling today? Oh, it's Cathay Pacific. Brian and Leah can't go. I don't know how it works. We don't know how it works.
So it's just like picking on, the lucky dip. If you're actually being in.
It's like playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, it's something like that. So it's still not as easy as we think it is to fly back to the Philippines or to fly into the Philippines, because they already had lifted the travel ban, but the flight restriction is still there.
You can have everything. You can have everything done. You can be so organised. You're meeting all the requirements and the protocols.
You got all the documentation.
And we're in a situation too where we're renting our property out. We had to sell our vehicle. So you're at home. You've quit your jobs. You're sitting around waiting for your flights. And you're in no man's land. And that's the situation we're in. It's absolutely crazy.
You already have your flight ticket, you already have a booked quarantine in the Philippines, you already have all the documentation you need, but the biggest problem there is actually getting into the plane, flying to the Philippines.
So they give you pre-warning, okay, we were warned, we were notified that there was a cancellation, and maybe they're giving them a week's notice when they're deciding how many planes are coming in, so that you get notified before you're actually on the plane,
Well, you're lucky if you get that much, it might only be 48 hours.
It's up to you where you want to fly out of. Flying direct is much better.
If you're one of the people who actually bought a ticket for a direct flight to the Philippines from here in Australia, please do so. Leave us a comment so that we also have an idea and we can share it with other people in our next vlog. Thanks guys for watching. If you do like this video, don't forget to give us a like, and like I said, leave us a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, just click that subscribe button. If it's red, that means you haven't subscribed. And I think that's all for today.
Okay.
Thanks for watching and take care. Bye bye.
Good luck.